Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new DC live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri, here with my co-host, Wasim Debussy. How are you, my friend?
Good afternoon. How are you, Matty? Good to see you again.
Yeah, good. All right, amazing to see you. Just saw you a few hours ago.
Well, I see your face all day long.
Exactly, yeah. Well, what a week. We had a huge week with obviously FTX announcing they would probably become insolvent. CZ pretending to come to the rescue, not coming to the rescue, Bitcoin crashing 25%. It's all happening. But hey, good thing is we now have some cheap crypto on our hands. We did some dollar cost averaging the other day. I hope that it continues going lower so we can get even, more and more cheaper coins. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, mate. How's your week?
Yeah, mate. It's been a crazy week. Like you said, it's been a week of mayhem in the crypto world, and I think 2020 has been a year of mayhem for crypto. It's the first time that Bitcoin has gone through a recession. We've got so much socio-political unrest happening around the world. So, and look, I mean, for me, Bitcoin still hasn't gone to zero, like what most people or some people would like it to do. So for me, that gives me confidence in crypto and Bitcoin for the long term. We're definitely in for some short-term pain, at least for the next 12 months. And I think what happened this week is just going to prolong the bear market. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, it's hard to tell. I'd like to say yes, the bear market is going to be over this month, purely for the fact that the days line up from all previous bear markets. We usually stay between 365 to 400 days in the bear market, and then we start our rally up. I did have a fib time for the 11th of November being an important date. So it lines up with sort of what's happened today. 15,500 being the bottom, could possibly be. We got really bullish news with the CPI data, which we're going to cover later on in the stream. But yeah, we're starting to get some good news. Inflation reducing in the US, and they're a big market movers. So we'll cover all this in the live stream today. Don't want to ruin it for everyone. But it's exciting now. Hopefully all the bad actors have all gone. I know that we saw something about BlockFi today, but they're not as big as FTX being the second biggest exchange. So yeah, we'll wait and see, and we may have bottomed, which would be really good.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. 11th of November. So your day was today.
Yes, so that's right. Yeah, using a fib time extension, you can predict where certain moves are going to occur, and it doesn't tell you if it's up or down. But if we've been in the bear market right now, it seems like we could have bottomed. So I've got to give it a little bit of time. But without further ado, let's dive into the first article.
Let's do it. So first up, we've got global interest in gold-backed digital assets is expanding. So this article is talking about that there is a surge in 2022 for more people who want to buy a token that is backed by gold. And there's good reason for that. I mean, we've been looking at a couple of gold-backed tokens for our clients. I actually had a meeting with someone yesterday, CEO of a company that does gold-backed tokens from Bolivia and Estonia. And I think the reason for this is because a lot of people are starting to see that when you have something physically backing a token, it does make it more stable, and that's why more people are looking for gold-backed tokens. On the flip side of this, having a gold-backed token is very, very centralized because the gold has to be kept in a vault, and you need to get to a particular place to be able to exchange your tokens for gold. So this is on the rise at the moment, and we're starting to see this happening right now because of what's happening in 2020 and not being such a fruitful year for cryptocurrencies. Over to you, Matty, with the next one. Bitcoin
Yeah.
boost.
So basically, Bitcoin and Ethereum get a boost. The CPI shows inflation is cooling. So the price index rose by 7.7% over the last 12 months, well above the Federal Reserve's 2% inflation target. But we were down from October. October was less than September, which is obviously a great start to this back end of the year. So, following the report, the price of Bitcoin increased roughly by 6% from 16,500 to 17,500. And Ethereum also had a sort of big jump. So this was great news. Obviously, the recent Fed report of going up by still 0.75 of a basis point, so 75 basis points, to increase the interest rates. CPI data has decreased. So I believe that if we get a favorable interest rate hike by the US at the next Fed meeting, so anything less than 75 basis points, that will be the commencement of the bull run, meaning that 15,500 was the bottom. I still expect one last leg down to about 13 to 14K. But hey, this is why you should DCA, even though you have targets of where you want to be purchasing Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies. Super important to always dollar cost average, because there's so many levels where we could find support. It's always very difficult to know when the whales are going to want to sort of come back in and start pushing their funds into the market. And yeah, it's an exciting time, because as I've always said, we're at the back end of this bear market. It's not the start, it's not the middle, we're definitely the back end. So yeah, looking forward to the next few months.
Yeah, but when they say it's down 0.5%, it's still 7.7%, and their target is 2%. So do you really think the Fed is going to start moving away from quantitative tightening towards quantitative easing? And what will that mean for the long term?
If I said yes or I said no, I'd be taking a stab in the dark, right? We don't know, because between now and then, so many things could happen. Things could cool off macroeconomically with all the pending wars and everyone threatening each other in different countries, or things could get worse. Someone could, North and South Korea could go to war. We just don't know. So even though the technicals say one thing in the charts, saying that we most likely have bottomed here, at the end of the day, we can't predict the news. We can't predict what Putin's going to do. We can't predict what every other sort of president, prime minister, king or queen are going to do. So because we can't do that, and we can only go off the technicals show that 15,500 is fantastic support, and we probably go up from here. But I still rest my case on going to about 13,000, because the technicals have shown Bitcoin has retraced 85% each of its previous bear markets. So we haven't retraced 85% yet. 85% is 13 to 14K. So I'm going to stick to my guns there. That's why I still haven't deployed all my side capital back into the market. But we did dollar cost average the other day, because whenever there is a big pullback, you'd be silly not to. You want to average your overall price of buying your favorite assets. And look, I even did well the other day. I bought, like I said, I stated on the stream, I bought some Meta stocks at around $95. It went lower to like $89. And today it's at $111. It's not about trying to pick the bottom every time, but it's about recognizing when you start seeing weakness in the sellers. And right now there's weakness in the sellers. People are becoming more knowledgeable and educated that if you purchase Bitcoin now, even if it gets to the previous all-time high, you're going to 4x your returns. 4x is better than any bank can offer in the next 4 years. So at the end of the day, you'd be silly not to buy anything now.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving on. Over 80,000 Bitcoin leaves exchange wallets as traders lose confidence in centralized exchanges. So obviously what's happened this week with FTX has shaken a lot of people's confidence in centralized exchanges, because centralized exchanges don't show what they're holding. They don't show what they're doing with people's money and people's crypto, which is what happened with FTX. Yeah, they were very non-transparent. They weren't very transparent what they were doing with people's crypto, and then obviously this came out and collapsed FTX. So a lot of traders have said, you know what, we're going to take our crypto off the exchange, which is something that we've been telling people from day one. Never leave your crypto on exchanges because anything can happen. Not your keys, not your cheese, not your keys, not your crypto. And this is exactly what people are doing now. They're taking them off, putting on hardware wallets, software wallets, whatever it is. And also some of the large holders of Bitcoin, so some of the whales of Bitcoin that had it 1,000 to 10,000 BTC have sold around 140,000 BTC in the past 2 weeks, which is equal to about $2.25 billion. Now, you've got to understand, guys, a lot of these holders, a lot of these whales that have these 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin, these guys were around back 10 years ago when Bitcoin was trading under $100. Some of these guys may have even mined some of these Bitcoins. So it never really cost them anything other than electricity at the time, which wasn't very expensive to get these Bitcoins. So they've made a lot of money. So when they sell, even if they're selling 140,000 Bitcoin, they're still in profit. You know, one rule in Bitcoin that has not been broken yet is anybody that holds Bitcoin for 4 years or more is usually in profit. So we're still seeing this, we still believe in this. And yeah, a lot of people are taking their Bitcoin or their crypto off exchanges, and they should be.
Yeah, exactly. When every second day you hear of an exchange, doing nefarious activities and it creates a bank run, which is exactly what happened with FTX. It doesn't surprise me that more and more exchanges are seeing cryptocurrency come off their exchange because they're not trustworthy. They don't do well by their clients, and the result is people lose millions of dollars. Last time with the Luna collapse, there was a tweet going around that 9 people committed suicide, in the days after. So it affects people because people over leverage themselves, people overexpose themselves. And at the end of the day, you don't have insurance on this money because it's still a gray area with a lot of countries. And yeah, you just can't overexpose yourself in this market whilst it's still a new asset, technically only 12 to 14 years old. And we're now seeing people lose hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars on these exchanges.
That's right. Cool.
Alrighty, head over to the first tweet. Exactly what we're talking about. Sam Bankman-Fried saying, "I'm sorry, that's the biggest thing. I fucked up. I should have done better." Look, at the end of the day, the tweet's not going to fix people's bank accounts. If you're leverage trading or whatever he was doing with people's funds to try and get more exposure into the market, at the end of the day, what he did wasn't right. He didn't have enough collateral on the side to cover his bad choices, and now people are suffering. And he's got a bad name he's got a black name, his black mark on his name now. Not many high wealth individuals are probably going to want to invest any money with him. And I'd say his career is over.
Yeah, look, I agree. I actually read the whole tweet, all 22 of them. And there's a lot of fluff there. There's a lot of information. Look, to be honest, I mean, my personal opinion is, again, this is not financial advice. I think Sam Bankman-Fried was trying to do the right thing, but he just got over excited. He wasn't keeping his finger on the pulse. When you're a CEO and when you're a billionaire like him that has so much money under your control, you really need to make sure that everything is done correctly. And I think he just he was a bit too loose with people's money, and therefore he ended up here. And not only has he ruined his name, he's ruined the name of the whole industry, which is what we're going to talk about with Pomp and some of the other guys coming up.
Yeah.
This next one, which...
So based on my conversations over the last 24 hours, people are drastically underestimating how much damage is being done this week to institutional interest in both Bitcoin and the broader crypto ecosystem. So exactly what Wasim was just finishing off with there. Sam Bankman-Fried was getting into the political side of things, trying to centralize cryptocurrencies. He was doing a lot of stuff behind all the other exchanges' backs, and CZ called him out. CZ probably was the catalyst to FTX going under, withdrawing and liquidating all their FTT tokens at Binance. And that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. So, of course, a lot of people are going to see this and go, yeah, cryptocurrency is too volatile. All this shit happens all the time. But at the end of the day, if you're investing in non-blue stock assets, so not Bitcoin and not Ethereum, you've got this exactly coming to you. FTT was just a token made out of thin air. And, if you're investing in stuff that is not backed, then that's your own problem, because you should be doing your own research. Even if you get given tips from friends, family saying, hey, buy the next Shiba, blah, blah, blah. You've got to do your own research so you know what's going on in the market and who you're putting faith and your money with.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the damage is going to cause a lot of issues for the crypto market, at least in the short term. But at the same time, it is weeding out bad actors. And, I've said this before, I haven't been through a proper bear market in the past, but from what I've been reading and learning, I've seen that, every bear market shakes out the bad actors, and then the crypto industry gets better and stronger and keeps going. And we're going to look at the highlights. We're going to look at how much is going on there. So I definitely believe long term we're still in the right place, and there's a lot of things happening for the future that is very, very bright for Bitcoin and crypto. So, short term pain, long term gain. All right, last tweet for today. Russia announces 12 more countries want to join BRICS. If all are accepted, BRICS will have 50% of the world's population and even larger share of commodities such as oil, gas, metals, etc. If they figure out how to do a currency, ... Now, I've reported on BRICS, so there's a whole video if you guys want to watch that on our channel about who the BRICS are, what they do, where they came from, etc., etc. So BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They're the 5 main countries in the BRICS conglomerate or group, or whatever you want to call it.
Conglomerate.
Yeah.
That's the word.
That's the word. The import in me comes out every now and then. So more and more countries have applied or have shown interest in joining the BRICS. Now they're saying that there's 12 more countries who want to join. If this does happen, it will make them a very strong group. Because you've got some very, very large countries there. You've got Russia, which is one of the world's largest countries. You got China, which is one of the world's largest producers. You got Brazil, which is also a very large producer of natural resources. You've got India, which is like you're talking about between these 5 countries. You're talking about, I think, about 30 or 40% of the world's population in those countries, and some of the world's largest natural resources and producers of food and other resources that we need. So if this does happen, and they have spoken about creating their own currency, a currency that's a basket of all their currencies together. So it's going to definitely be a challenge for the US dollar and the euro if they do pull this off. So interesting space to watch. Definitely something I'm watching with a close eye to see what they're doing, because they can change the world.
Yep, agree. All right, we got next is Japan's largest telecom company, NTT, to invest $4 billion into Web 0.3. So basically, according to a recent press release, NTT, Docomo, and Accenture will focus on 3 points: addressing ESG issues, establishing a technology platform for Web3, and developing talent. So they basically want to be the hub of technology. And if you've ever been to Japan, I haven't, but I've heard that, it's like Times Square everywhere. They've got digital screens everywhere. Everything's digitized, especially now with COVID. People are trying to be as hands-free as possible. I've now seen things such as being able to order your food by just your eyesight and doing certain things. So look, technology is increasing so rapidly that it doesn't surprise me that Japan, one of the best and most tech-savvy places in Asia, along with South Korea, they love their tech, they love their phones, is trying to be the hub for Web3. So it's good to see, and wish Japan all the best.
Yeah, and it's not just Japan. I mean, Japan is obviously one of the world's biggest tech centers, or was anyway. They are trying to reclaim that position, but other countries like Vodafone, they've also teamed up with Energy Web. You've got American Dish Network who partnered up with Cardano. You've got Spanish Telecom, Telefonica also partnered with Bit2Me, which we've also reported on. So a lot of telecommunication companies are starting to see the value of Web3 and blockchain, and they understand that because they're telecommunication businesses, a lot of people use their phones for payments, use their phones for their wallets. So it makes sense for these telecommunication companies to partner up with Web3 companies and bring better services to their users.
Yeah, if you have an iPhone, you're not using Apple Pay, then you're behind the times.
And if you've got Samsung, you're not using Samsung Pay behind the times. I'm Samsung all the way. All right. Subway accepts Bitcoin so users can get a sandwich on the Lightning Network. Now, for those who've been around in Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency world for a while, this seems like Groundhog Day, because about 12 years ago or so, they actually announced that they were testing Bitcoin payments, but now they're using the Lightning Network. And what they're doing is, if you pay with the Lightning Network for the first week, you get 50% off your order. And also, people are using the hashtag using Bitcoin and Bitcoin. And this has gone viral over there. And this is actually just in Germany, in Berlin. So I think it's about like 9 stores or something in Germany, Berlin, where they're doing this. Last time they tried it in Russia. And they're starting to see more and more people wanting to do that, wanting to use their cryptocurrency for everyday payments. And also, they've partnered up with a company that only charges 1% fee on the transaction. So from a merchant perspective, when they're using Visa or MasterCard, which usually charges anywhere between 2.5 to 4% fee on the transaction, and on top of that, if it is a business card, they charge another 0.5%. If it's a foreign business card, they charge up to 7%, and you don't know any of that till the end of the month. When your bill comes in and you realize that this company, Visa or MasterCard, have taken up to 7% of your income because of their fees. Now with Bitcoin and I forget the name of the company now. It's called Lipa Kitten. Lipa is the company they're using. 1% fee they're charging them across all their Bitcoin transactions, regardless of where it's coming from. So it makes sense for them as a company to use something like that.
That just leads me into, all the fees that you were talking about. Obviously, part of Breakout Solutions, we do have our decentralized card, a card that you probably have never heard of, don't know where to get it because it's not mainstream like the crypto.com card and all the other cards out there. But basically, they've got very low fees and you can spend your crypto privately. It's one of those amazing things that we have part of Breakout Solutions that not a lot of people know about. So if you are interested in knowing how you can spend your crypto privately, feel free to send us a DM, leave us a comment below, and we'll have one of our staff reach out to you guys to explain a bit more detail.
And while we're on that, just a reminder, if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you press the subscribe, that like button, and the notification bell. If you're not on YouTube, please go to our YouTube channel, press subscribe, like the video, and press the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the updates that we do. We are right now growing our community, and the more people we can help, the better. So help us out and share it around, guys.
Well said. All right, last adoption highlight for the day. Bitcoin ATM locations surged by 28% in Canada. So now, although downtrends in crypto prices have affected the industry's growth, crypto-related developments continue to make headlines almost daily. This time, North American country Canada records an immense increase in Bitcoin ATM installations. And as per the stat provided by Coin ATM Radar, Bitcoin ATM locations in Canada have surged by 28%. We already went through that. Canada made rapid strides in guaranteeing that Bitcoin ATM locations increased despite the negative market downtrend. In a breakdown of the installed ATMs, Canada had 2,289 ATMs in Q1 of this year, and the number surged to 2,438 by Q2. It recorded an increase of over 100 new ATMs every quarter, much more than other areas. So, look, I think ATMs are like billboards. The more the people run into things and see Bitcoin ATM, they're going to wonder what is Bitcoin, probably start doing their research. It's going to increase adoption of retail investors. Obviously, a lot of people now think that whilst the crypto market is crashing, this is the end of crypto and it's going to go to zero. And this is exactly how I felt in 2018. I went through the late 2017 bull run, thought it was amazing, 3x'd my money, and then saw my money dwindle away for the next, year and a half. And I was like, yep, this was a bubble, blah, 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 blah. So Bitcoin made a recovery. And now I understand cycles. I got into education, got into, improving my knowledge into the space. And also trading and investing and knowing what I know now, if I knew back then, God, I'd be so much richer. I know that you got to listen to people like Warren Buffett. When the streets are bleeding, this is the time to be investing. And we have had a lot of blood over the last 12 months in all asset classes, not just cryptocurrency. So don't think that volatility is just a crypto thing. Facebook is down 75%. Tesla's down like 50%. Nike also down 75%. It's happening everywhere. But now is the time to invest in your favorite assets, the things that you believe in, because they will yield greater returns over the next 4 years than you can even imagine.
I totally agree, guys. This is definitely generation by territory, and every time the market goes down, this is more opportunity for us to accumulate more, because this market, if you believe in Bitcoin like we do, we believe Bitcoin is way undervalued. Bitcoin should be valued around $1 million and we believe we'll probably get there by 2030. If you start to understand what is actually happening in the world and why people are moving away towards crypto and why this is a safe haven for people in the future, you'll understand that when the next bull market comes, and seeing all the adoption that we're talking about, when the next bull market comes, it's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. There's so much adoption happening right now. And people who are just sitting on the sidelines are going to come to us in 4 or 5 years' time and say, hey, I wish I bought Bitcoin at 15,000. The same way that I'm saying I wish I bought Bitcoin at $111, which is the first time I saw it and I didn't buy it. Now I'm saying I wish I bought Bitcoin at $111. It's $15,000 right now. When Bitcoin reaches $150, $200, $300, $500,000 a coin, people are going to say, I wish I bought at $15,000. So what are you doing right now? If you're not getting in, if you don't want our education or anything like that, the least that anybody can do is just looking into Bitcoin and Ethereum and start dollar cost averaging to this. Not financial advice. Only invest where you can and willing, which you can afford and willing to lose. But you should definitely be paying attention to this.
And guys, that leaves us to our last point of the day. Obviously, unless you are a trader and you've been shorting the market, you probably haven't made any money over the last 12 months, unless you've been spot buying and selling at the right times, which if you're watching this, you're probably not a trader. You're a really retail investor that like to buy and hodl. We've got an amazing new workshop coming up on December 11th, where we're going to showcase and share with you guys the exact investments that we have and we share with our clients, why we've still been able to be making money during the last 12 months, because we're invested in DeFi. We're creating passive income, which is the best form of income, money whilst you are sleeping. If you want to come check it out, head over to breakoutsolutions.com.au/7 passive income streams. And you're going to be amazed by the way that you can make your money work for you. You don't even need to have a large sum of money. Any sum of money will allow you to make some passive income. You've got to make your money work for you. So I encourage you, and Wasim also encourages you to come along to check out that new workshop on December 11th.
Guys, the least you can do, the first thing you should be doing before you get into crypto or any investment is to learn about it. So what we tell people is always learn about it. Come to an event like this where we will show you guys how easy it is to create a passive income, multiple passive incomes. Even if you're getting $10, $20, $30 a month right now, and look, even now in the bear market, we're still making a few $100 to $500 a day in passive income. And at the peak of the bear market, we're making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a day, and I knew people making up to $30,000 a day. So getting in now and learning how to get into this is going to benefit you greatly in the next 2 to 3 years. So come and join us. I have put the link in the chat. So I'll have put the link in the comments. It should come up on a number of different platforms. But go to YouTube and it'll be there. Click on it and then just come and join us on 11th of December.
That's it from us, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Friday. And we will catch you guys next week for all our new and live videos. See you then.